I mean, yeah, that's a pretty fair summary.
I hope this doesn't come back to me. Like, oh well, I
Oh
don't want
no, no,
Doctor,
this
don't
is
want Doctor
this is
Bogner on the
entirely
stream
my
again.
bad. I should have anticipated this and been set up with hardwired connection before this, but we've now got the LAN.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, my PC doesn't actually take Wi-Fi, so I've had to buy like a USB thing so that it can take Wi-Fi. Because right now we don't have a router to plug the cable into, so I can't get internet on my PC without having a little adapter thing. So it's a bit annoying, but it seems to be working fine. So I just can't wait till I get that internet. Oh, 1 gigabyte per second or 1 gigabit per second. Oh my god, it sounds so nice.
yeah, I think I had you too loud, so probably for the next few minutes people will be hearing echoing, but I think I've fixed it now. Um, yeah, there are a lot of reasons
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't like LAN connected originally. One of which being I don't have enough ports for all this, so we kind of now have to deal with audio issues and yeah, it's
Right.
but okay.
Okay,
It
round
looks like
two's
a
starting now.
Suicune is just destroying that one poor guy. Oceanic Gamer has a Toad's
Yeah, could
Cruel
we?
Rain.
Do you want to? So the round two apparently is starting now. I'm not sure if round two games have begun.
Mhm.
But can we go back to the hybrid game a minute? The with the Hooper. Just want to
I
discuss
think
something.
Hybrid's
That's all.
already on to his next game. Do you want to see?
I mean, I just want to like I can find the turn specifically, but it was just such a weird. It was such a weird play. Like I want your opinion on why you think he did this.
I'm sure you're right that it was probably incorrect or weird, but honestly, I think we've just got to move on. The game, if it's not, well, I guess it probably the room won't
Yeah,
be gone, but I don't think like the
yeah.
tournament is raced ahead of us. I don't think going back and looking at plays in
Okay, fair
round one
enough. Fair
is
enough.
the move.
Essentially, what happened is that the Hooper that was the only ghost, so on the web's team decided to uh, Terra Blast fight a Terra and then Terra Blast into the Moltres, which I think was just such an unnecessary attempt at a read. I'm assuming. But yeah, I know I sound like a broken record. I keep talking about it, but it's just really, really strange thing to see.
So we've got
We
a
have
subseed Whimsicott here.
uh, which is let me close all these ones. Right, what are we looking at then? Which game is that?
Oceanic Gamer versus Hanua
Yeah, I got it.
CJS. Yeah, this subseed Whimsicott is actually looking brutal. Honestly, if I'm using Rain, I really don't want to see Hisuian Gudra, Vaporeon, and Whimsicott.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not ideal. And I'll get these open as I see them.
Yeah, just real quick, just want to shout out to my wife, who now that it's back online, just because I saw her in the chat, I think she's made a YouTube account specifically for this because she knew this was a big deal to me, kind of thing. So she literally in the last one was I saw an account that looks suspiciously named called Pink Chonk, and just want to shout out to her because she typed in the chat and said that everyone needs to like and subscribe. W wife.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for helping us in our time of need, Miss Bogner.
Yeah, Miss Bogner, that's definitely she'll be happy with that.
Okay, so
Or should I say Mrs. Bogner?
Mrs.
But
all
yeah,
right. So let's I guess okay, we're back now.
yeah. Sorry
Well,
about that, guys.
Hubbard-
We not sure quite what happened there, but we shouldn't
Yes, that's
face
my
anything
bad.
like.
I should have had this hardwired connection in before. Sorry about that, everybody. We shouldn't have any more internet issues. And
And
yeah.
I just want to say, please, please, please like and share the stream because it did such, but that absolutely tanked pretty much everything on the stream. Obviously, for a good reason. We understand you don't just want to sit there and watch that, but yeah, if you could try and let everyone know that we're back and we can try and get those numbers back up. Okay, so Pink, are you there?
Yes, yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
checking out.
right.
So, right, we have just to make sure we're on the same game. We're seeing Oceanic Gamer, right?
Yep.
Okay.
With there's currently a Vaporeon versus a Azumarill.
Yeah, so it seems like the
Oh,
Whimsicott has finally been forced out. But okay, we've got the Toedscruel coming in. Toedscruel here is pretty good. Now, Spore, I believe Toedscruel's Spore can hit grass types.
yeah. So the Mycelium might. Basically, it means that all. I think I can be corrected here. But I believe, if off the top of my head, it basically means that you get negative priority, or your the priority of whatever your any status move is. It makes you go last, right? But like a lagging tail, kind of. But it also means that it ignores like the types or abilities or something, something along those lines. I'm not sure if it ignores
Yeah, so apparently
abilities
it's
or
ignoring
whether it's just type.
abilities.
It is its abilities.
Yeah, so
Is
it
it not
still can't
types as
Spore
well?
Whimsicott.
Oh, okay. Okay, nice. That was a good spin block. That was. You've only got 2 turns of rain left though, so you've really got to, as Oceanic Gamer here, you've got to really like make those count.
And that Vaporeon does probably have Water Absorb.
Water.
So I think if
Yeah.
you have like Psychic Fangs or maybe even like a Terra Blast Ghost, this is the time to click it.
Yeah, because like as Honua, like there is no downside to going Vaporeon here. Like you can't afford not to go Vaporeon here. Realistically, like you could potentially go Gudra, but you kind of need to get Vaporeon in here because like nothing really wants to take a Wave Crash, especially not on Ursaluna.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good read. Like that was ballsy, but
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of in a way a respectful play. Oceanic Gamer is a good player, and good players usually don't click a water move when there's a Vaporeon on the field.
yeah. Like you've sort of got to. It's just about it's as much playing like the player as it is playing the team, I suppose. If you know that the player is a good player, then you've got to sort of account. But so I would assume that this thing is banded, right?
Yes, I
yeah,
think based on
yeah,
that
it's- yeah,
damage,
it's
that is
banded, yeah.
banded, because this just seems like a very bulky Ursaluna to me. And we've got Salamence coming in, so I wonder if this is a DD Mence or a Special Hurricane one. Probably Special Hurricane, given it's a rain team.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Oh, it didn't kill.
Wow, that did not do much.
No. I just want to quickly. Firstly, Mia's just messaged me saying, "You guys already got married. Congrats!" I just want to say thank you. We haven't officially. It's not. It's one of those things where it's like we are going to be getting married in the summer, but we say like wife and husband already because it's basically already been done. It doesn't feel right saying like girlfriend. Do you know what I mean?
That seems
just
fair.
what-
That's
I
I
want to
didn't realize
clarify
you
that.
weren't, but that's yeah.
No,
That's cool.
so it's like we are sort of setting up for the summer and stuff like that. But we say that we are because you might as well be. You know what I mean? So just clarifying that there. But thank you, firstly, me anyway for the congrats. I'll just sort of a congrats in advance, I suppose. Anyway, back to Pokemon. Yeah, I don't want to ruin the stream by talking about that kind of thing.
So yeah, Vaporeon is about to be all the way back, and it doesn't look like Oceanic Gamer has a single thing in the world for this Vaporeon. And guys, remember the priority, or sorry, not the priority, the recovery nerf of only 8 PP does not apply to Wish. Wish still has 16, so Vaporeon's sitting
Yeah.
here with 11 remaining wishes and a team that is just not getting any healthier. I really don't know what you do about this as Oceanic Gamer. It seems the only glimmer of
No.
hope is that the hazards, but really that's pretty tough here. Though Azumarill is very well positioned at this point.
Yeah.
There is no easy switching.
It all just depends. Like we've seen knockoff and play rough, so it's probably going to be a pretty standard set. It all just depends on how the players decide to position themselves around each other here, because I don't know. I mean, Oceanic Gamer needs to. They need to do something here that because it could take one more thing and then it's basically game over pretty much. Like they need to make sure they do. Okay, they got the Ursaluna. That's cool. Like I was just saying, they need to make sure that they make the right plays here because it's sort of do or die for them right now. Because it could just spiral out of control to the point where they just can't kill anything. But you know, you've got the Ursaluna now. But I'd still say that Honua is still in a pretty good position here.
I'd say it's a bit more precarious than it looks for Honua, because if you lose Vaporeon, you're totally screwed. It's basically Vaporeon against the world, and we're going to see who wins. Now, there is a Toedscruel that can do around 60, I think we saw, with a Leaf Storm, which is not bad. And there's Vasculegion, which might have Terra Blast Ghost, but we don't know yet. And that is a big play rough. I really don't know about that play from Honua. I feel like you probably want to PP stall play roughs before you want to just you want to at least want to get a wish off, right? Like you at least want to get one off just so that you have that longevity. Like, but now it takes one more play rough and you're going down. Like you don't have the liberty to switch to use wish, and then you've also got the spikes that are on the floor, which basically means that Vaporeon right now, unless they manage to correctly predict a water move, is pretty much dead. Yeah,
it's pretty much gone.
There's really nothing you can do. If I were Hanoi here, I'd wish and hope for I'd hope for the play rough miss, and then if it doesn't miss, at least if you wish and then just die, you can heal up Whimsicott to full. So that's something.
Is that how that works? Does wish still continue if you die?
So if you wish, what would happen is you would wish, then get killed by play rough. Then the next turn it would heal. If you wish and then get hit and then die, no, the wish just goes away.
Yeah, that's what I was confused. But they didn't even try and do the wish. They just went for the Scald straight away. So
yeah, I think that was a mistake, and I think we'll see that mistake happen. This was a game where I think Hanua had the advantage, but just maybe not though.
I mean, this Whimsicott's it has the potential to just be a complete demon. Like when this Whimsicott's here, especially with it's not completely over yet.
Yeah, and I will say I think Liquidation there was a big mistake from Oceanic Gamer. You really want to knock in that situation to prevent the substitute, because now, this is looking kind of rough.
Oh, they didn't even break the sub either. That's really bad.
I will say I understand why the Leech Seed there came out. If Pelipper Hurricane, then Leech Seed would have been correct. So I won't necessarily call that play wrong, but definitely not ideal. And you do just want a Leech Seed here. No. You want a Leech Seed there. Okay, no. So big mistake from Hanua. Had Hanua gone for a Leech Seed, you could have spammed Substitute, chipped this thing down, and started moonblasting your way through the team, but now...
That might be GG.
I'm thinking so. I mean, Hanua hasn't used Terra yet, so there's a chance that this Whimsicott turns into a Steel type as well, but that's not really what you want in this endgame against all these water types. You wanted it to be exactly the type it is.
Yeah. Excuse me. I've just realized I think this team is this team from Honua is an absorption team. You've got probably Sap Sipper on Gudra, you've got Flash Fire on Heatran, you've got obviously Electric Immunity with Ursaluna, and you've got Water Absorb with Vaporeon. So an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Got a lot of mons that have that.
Everything has an immunity except Hitmonlee.
Hitmonlee, yeah.
Which is just existing, I guess. Strange. Yeah, the Hitmonlee, I think the real killer here is Hazards. You have 0 heavy duty boots, 6 grounded Pokemon, or 1 heavy. I think Hitmonlee was boots. But yeah, that's really, really rough. You do not want to run a full grounded team and just get smoked by spikes. You want to prepare for that.
You don't want your one Bootsmon to be Hitmonlee either. That's like the whole point of Hitmonlee surely is for the unburden, right? So
yeah, no, definitely some questionable choices here. And hey, we are back up to 100 viewers.
Oh, nice. So really, really well done, guys.
We're back. Okay, and Gooey going to come out and be absolutely useless there on the flip turn. And yeah, this should just be Kingdra for the win. I mean, Whimsicott will have one more entry opportunity, but it's just not healthy enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've also, obviously there's only one turn of rain left, but I mean, what can they really realistically do against the Pelipper? Like, all they've got to do is just do some flip turn shenanigans, and then they've got the full rain back up, and they can basically just do what they want. With this Kingdra or the Bashki Legion, you've got the Vaporeon, which isn't here anymore, and so it's pretty much GG at this point. There's not really much you can do about it.
I think this is time for Hanwha to use Terra. I can't imagine why else you would go into the Heatran here. I guess just Sack.
Heatran here.
Yeah, I mean, well, it could be Heatran Sack into Hitmonlee trying to go for a spin, and then maybe try to win with Whimsicott. It's not a good plan, but it's a plan.
No, I mean, it's true, but Heatran here is pretty useless, right?
Okay, Terra Flying I do not like there. But I guess, I mean, I suppose there's no option that could really work. It seems like Oceanic Gamer's just going to wrap this up pretty quickly. And we see the Toad's Cruel Sack. Terra Blast Flying is kind of insane. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah. It's so funny, though, because the Heatran now does nothing. Like, the only thing Heatran was good against is that Toad Scroll, and now what does it do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there's like nothing that it...
Terra Flying was not what you needed. I mean, it got you out of being KO'd by Kingdra, but how valuable was that really?
Exactly, and as I said, like the Pelipper's come back in, and there's nothing you can do to the Pelipper. It's set the rain now, and what are you going to do against this? Like, there's nothing you can do. Like, I respect Hanwha for not giving up, but like, it's not looking good.
Yeah, no, I think this is another case of just we have a better player. I think Hanwha should have not let the Vaporeon get as chipped as they did. I think this should have been a game of being very careful with hazards, right? And trying to like predict when the Bashki Legion would come in, try to knock it off with Hitmonlee, because hazards were a crucial part of this game. And I think time and time again, Oceanic Gamer knew what to do to push the advantage, and Hanwha just did not.
Hanwha had they had such a good matchup just because of the Whimsicott and the Vaporeon, and also kind of the Goodra, but they just played them so poorly. They just didn't utilize them as they needed to. They just didn't, they basically were like putty in Oceanic Gamer's hands. Like, Oceanic Gamer knew exactly what to do in order to position the opponent's Pokemon how they needed them, and there's the forfeit. Like that was really well played from Oceanic there, because they did exactly what they needed to do, and that was to make Hanwha make a mistake, and Hanwha did make a mistake and made several mistakes, and that was ultimately what won Oceanic the game. So really, really well played there by Oceanic.
Yeah, now I will say credit to with some credit to Hanwha, this was not as free of a matchup as it looks. Like, you may think, Hoodra, Whimsicott, Vaporeon, this should have been over at preview. Spikes were rough. All those grounded Pokemon with spikes, they were rough. Now, I would still say Hanwha definitely had the advantage here, but it wasn't super free.
The early game, Hanwha definitely had the advantage with the sort of things that they were doing. So for Oceanic to sort of turn it around like that is really impressive.
Mm-hmm. So, wow, this ended up getting wild, but we actually see Hybrid, our Webs hero, losing to an insane team with a Swords Dance Victory Bell. That is...
I'm looking at this now.
Wild.
Oh, wow. Dude, I mean, should we go through this? This looks really interesting.
Let's try to find one that's currently active. Okay, so we have a stall team getting taken out by someone who used their OU pick on Dragapult. So I kind of want to go through this and just briefly check out what was the main breaker, what got the kills.
Yeah, which game is this?
This is Nullpack versus Umbreon. So it looks like an SD Mold Breaker Excadrill came through, which is an insane set to be running, but it really did do its job pretty well. And the Excadrill took out Orthworm. And then once Orthworm was out, a banded Dragapult just ripped through the entire team. It looks like that's exactly what happened. And then a Maushold too. Wow, that is rough. That is rough. It
is rough knowing that the Orthworm got beaten by Excadrill. I would have thought that Orthworm been pretty good against that. But
Yeah, well, that mold breaker was insane. That really just turned that matchup on its head, and then the entire team just got fried by physical attackers. So that's
like it's something I would have just completely, I would have completely forgot about. Mold breaker. I think that's probably what happened. Because yeah, I would have completely just forgot that mold breaker was even a thing at that point. Because I'm so used to just the Earth Eater thing. That's rough. I'm watching through it now. It's pretty rough. The Excadrill put in a lot more work
let's
than
take a
it
look.
should have been able to.
Oh, this is interesting. So I'd like to see this. We've got a team 4 Axes versus Brain Dead Owl. If you want to start that at the beginning.
Yeah.
So we see Politoed versus Deoxys Speed. And immediately turn.
Oh wow, that rain team. That rain team.
What an incredibly bold play on the part of
Brain Dead.
Yeah, well, on the part of 4 Axes to say you just encored me and I'm going to stay in anyway. I mean, that's insanity. But it looks like this thing might just get a kill or 2 with stored power before it leaves. So maybe that was actually the right play. Because there goes the encore. It's now got 1 turn.
Oh,
that did not do much.
I do like a cosmic power.
Yeah. That stored power did not do nearly as much as I thought it would.
No. Politoed's a lot better than you think it is, but I think in this situation it was more just how they played it. And then you've got the Regenerator on Tornadus, so yeah, doesn't really do much.
Okay, and it looks like the OU
it's the VGC.
Raging Bolt, which I respect a lot. I think Raging Bolt is a great Pokemon.
Just this rain team looks so good. Like it looks so scared. Like I'd be scared, like realistically, an OU going up over a rain team that looks like this. Not as scared as like a traditional rain team, obviously, but it looks like a really well put together rain team.
Yeah, I agree. I really don't know about that Politoed sack though. Almost never is it okay to sack your rain Pokemon, even when you think it is. Usually you need it more than... I mean, I will say, with the death of that Zamazenta, things are looking pretty good, but I still maintain that sacking that Politoed was a mistake. I think it would have been an okay time for maybe Tentacruel.
I do like a Ludicolo. I'm looking forward to see what this thing does.
Yeah, it looks like Ludicolo is probably going to wrap this up, because these things get Ice Beam from Toedscruel.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that didn't kill, though. But, I mean, it's still over. It's going to be 2 Giga Drains from a Ludicolo, and then...
Yeah, I mean... This rain team looks really, really good.
Okay, that was a pretty funny Mirror Code, but Raging Bolt is going to shut this down, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh my, we see Terra Ground. This is why you keep your Politoed, people.
Yeah.
This is why you keep your Politoed. Although this Raging Bolt can just boost up to absolute max and then Dragon Pulse. So...
I mean, we haven't seen all the moves yet. We've seen Mirror Coat and Recover, but I'm not sure, like...
No, I don't think we have any Terra Blast Ground, and that burn's not going to do it nearly quickly enough. Brain Dead Owl is playing this exactly how you should. Just boost up to absolute max, and then Mirror Coat, then Dragon Pulse, and that will kill. Unless it's Weather Ball. It could be Weather Ball last. Like Weather Ball Thunderclap, at which point that actually would not kill. Okay, it is... Oh, it's Sash? What? Oh my god.
That's
surely
why,
Kingdra
right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that got pretty interesting there at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was wondering why they just kept spamming Mirror Coat, but there you go, that's that was why. I thought that they just didn't have any other moves, so they were just doing that. But no, there was a reason behind it.
Which would be a valid reason as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at... oh my, we see a Phalanx. I'm going to get to the beginning of this Havoc Master 1 versus... Let me know when you're ready.
They're not letting me scroll up and down and stuff. Hello, game. What? Being weird.
Havoc Master 1 versus Blank Pay.
Right, let me search this because it didn't want to do it. Right. No, I can't see that for some reason. The lobby was sort of glitched out, so I had to refresh.
Okay, well, I'll start commentating on this then, I guess.
Yeah,
so
I can see if I can find it.
Another Mold Breaker Excadrill leading against a Grimmsnarl, just going to go right for the Iron Head for damage. Reasonable. We see a Parting Shot, and in comes the Poltegeist. as Excadrill sets rocks. We see the Earthquake, which is a really questionable play, giving that Poltegeist all that speed, and Poltegeist just going
what are the names of
immediately
the
Shell
players?
Smash.
Sorry.
Pardon?
What were the name of the players? Sorry.
Havoc Master 1 was the first one versus Blank Play Pract.
Yeah, right.
But it looks like this game's just going to be a Poltegeist sweep. Which, on one hand, is kind of a shame because we didn't see the Phalanx come out. On the other hand, is really good because we'll get to see the Phalanx later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a Poltegeist sweep. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what
Wow.
happened to me on stream yesterday.
So the Nat Deck streams are hard for me to catch because they start at midnight for me.
Oh yeah, that's.
But
tough.
but I do catch them sometimes, or at least the first little part of them. But I didn't get to catch yesterday's one. Was it a good one? Did you?
Oh, it was great. But we've got a Cramorant stall up in here that I really want to check out. That's very fascinating. Although it's looking kind of boring.
Yeah.
Because it's
Cramorant, I think, is a really interesting Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's such an interesting Pokemon with that Gulp Missile ability. I just wish it was a little bit better. It's such there's not really any situation where you're going to pull that off and it'd be worth using over anything else. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now I don't really have any way to look at any of the games, so you're just going to have to describe them to me. Okay. Is there not a way for me to look at them?
To Showdown or?
No. So I'm on the thing, but I had to refresh, and I'm in the lobby. But there's
okay.
And I can't see any of the things.
What you're on? What account are you on?
Dr. Bogner. It's literally just DRBOGNOR.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, awesome.
So yeah,
this
is kind of a bit of a slow burn, but it looks like the Cramorant team has the advantage. I just don't see how Gliscor Arc is ever going to break this. It doesn't look like Gliscor Arc has a really well put together breaking core, other than just hazards, and Cramorant has Defog, and there's no Goldengo, so...
This looks so interesting. This team from Aldrich. Because we've seen the Gliscor Arc. We've seen their team. I haven't actually seen the this Cramorant one yet, and it looks really interesting. And as we were saying before, they've done what we were discussing, where they've used the Chansey instead of the Blissey to free up that OU spot for the Gliscor, or to free up the UU spot for the Hydrapple. Sorry, which seems to be. I mean, it's one of those things where I think why bring a Blissey in this tour when you can get basically the same effect with Chansey, and not use up that UU spot. So it does confuse me a little bit that so many people still chose to spend that UU spot on the Blissey. But I mean, I guess they're just really committed to the stall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if this meta had time to develop, Chansey would be the superior option.
Yeah.
But people like what's familiar, and Blissey as UU seems like a steal, which I can get behind that being reasonable. Yeah, but it looks like this is just going to be a slow death for Gliscor Arc. So let's take a look and see which games are still going on.
Yeah.
Looks like this Thwacky team is still going, which I'm pretty impressed with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then, okay, we've got a Nasty Plot Taunt Tornadus against Stall. Let's see if it ended up doing it. Oh my god, okay, this ended up being a long game, but no, it looks like the Stall is going to win again. The
oh god, Charizard is Charizard is Charizard is
Charizard
currently
Pink Storks?
No, Charizard is Wii U.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm looking at the bracket now.
Yeah, well, let's see what's still going on, because I think almost every game in round 2 is complete. It looks like we just have one, which is Gliscor Arc.
Yeah, which is the one that we were looking at, yeah. Yeah, no, we didn't. We definitely didn't.
Okay, here we go. Oh my. This is a stall game, isn't it? Oh, this is the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's this. Okay, I think we may have to make a judgment soon, and I'm guessing that judgment is going to be in favor of
Aldrich. I mean,
Aldrich.
Gliscorok's about to run out of time anyway.
Yeah.
It's quite a well-built stall team, if you think about it, from Aldrich.
Oh yeah, I'm impressed.
Like, I obviously it's stall and it's like boo stall, whatever, but like because of the connections here, with the team building, I think it's still really interesting to see what teams some people have built. But yeah. And when I was just messaged me asking when I'm going to tell the story, I will tell the story in between rounds. So once this game has ended.
Yeah, this is looking... I'll say the reason I don't yet quite want to call it, there's maybe something that nasty plot Darkrai could do. Maybe.
I mean, it's Darkrai, so you never rule it out.
Try something with Rye. Actually, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't be doing that. Pinker, come on, man.
I was considering maybe just be like, but...
Just poking it in the direction. Just, come on, do something.
Yeah, we'll give him a little more. I'll say.
I will. I'm just going to say. I'm going to say in the chat. I don't know if this account will be able to do it. Actually. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. I'm just going to check if this account can type or whether it's too new, because I have like.
So basically,
I have my
here's where
Dr.
I'm at,
Bugner
'cause
account,
I will
and
say
then
this
this one.
Chansey does not have Seismic Toss. It only has Shadow Ball. So if Darkrai starts clicking Nasty Plot, there is a chance it can flinch the Chansey, and it won't be able to just kill it super quickly.
Yeah, I can't. I can't type it on this account. I might switch accounts just so that I can type in stuff. Although I don't really think it matters that much.
We see
'Cause I have this
one
account,
Pokemon that maybe
and
could
then
have
the
done
other
it die. This is over.
Yeah, I think that's
GG.
it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Forfeit, please. Next round begin. Or I think I spelled that wrong.
So it's fine. So in between this round and the next round, I'm just going to tell the story because people are saying that they want to tell it. Is that all right?
Yeah, go for it.
So Pink Cross hasn't heard this yet either. So my we'll call her my wife, right? So my wife is she's like my soulmate, right? So she's like amazing and all that sort of stuff, and we and she's decided that she wanted to get into Pokemon because she knows that it's very important to me, and so I really appreciate that from her just in general. But I told her to download Pokemon Go and things like that just to have a look, and then I said, well, do you just want to start your own adventure on the Switch? And she said yeah, because she'd seen me do stuff like shiny hunting and stuff like that on SV, right, on Scarlet. So she's seen the game, she just never played it, right? So her favorite Pokemon is Lechonk, specifically the shiny Lechonk, the pink Lechonk. And she has never touched a Pokemon game before in her life. Okay? And it turns out that not only it annoys me to this day. So it literally happened yesterday, and I still can't believe that it happened. But basically, she did the start of it, and she was, she picked a starter and stuff like that. Her third encounter, she walked halfway up Route 1, literally just after you have the tutorial on how to catch a Pokemon, and a shiny Lechonk spawned at full odd, which
It was
the
meant
fourth
to be.
It was meant to be. That's what I said. Literally, it could have been any Pokemon, right? And it just, as she was walking, it just spawned. I don't understand. I lost my mind. And she just sat there giggling. Because the funniest part about it is that I'd spent a good 2 weeks getting a shiny Lechonk for her on my other account, right? Because she said, oh, I really like it, I want it. I spent like 2 weeks doing it, and that was with max odds, so that was with a sandwich and a shiny charm and all that stuff. And it was like her third encounter ever in a Pokemon game, and it was her favourite Pokemon shiny. I can't believe it was. I don't understand.
Well, that's
understand
very
how
cool.
that happens. I don't understand how that happens.
So we do have a pretty high-profile game going on, not to take away from the tail, which is incredible.
No, it's fine.
We've got Oceanic Gamer versus Wanawa.
This is 1 hour, yeah. I'm loading that up right now.
I think this is one we have to watch from beginning to end. And Wanawa has turned to the dark side. It's Komala Stall.
Oh my. but
I like
yeah,
how
so
this is round 3, and I'm looking at a team where there's a victory bell against a Thwacky. But anyway, back to
yeah. I mean, the story that I told just briefly, it doesn't sound great on stream, but like it was just, if you can imagine, you have to put yourself in my shoes in that situation where there are some times where you spent hours searching for a shiny Pokemon and you've got all the stuff, so your odds are as low as possible, and then she just runs into her favorite shiny, and after about 4 minutes playing the game, it was it's yeah, it's just insane. But
yeah.
you can hear in my voice.
Mm-hmm. So I've got to say, rain against Stall is generally really bad. I'm looking at a team with an Altaria, a Gastrodon, and a Dondozo against Oceanic Gamer's team, which has, as far as I can tell, no real breaker. The closest thing, the only thing that I could see getting through this is a Terra Blast Ghost. From
the Basculegion, yeah.
Which I doubt.
Which, if they keep the Kamala alive, they can just, because it's banded, right? So
there is a chance. What? Okay. Anyway.
Oh, I forget this thing gets Wish.
Yeah. Kamala, especially with its immunity status thanks to Comatose, is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So,
I saw the strat. I don't know if you've seen this strat with Kamala, where you do the what's it called, Last Resort, and it just does like ridiculous amounts of damage. So that's pretty fun. Not sure if you've seen that strat. I think because it's stab, and I think you choice band it or something.
Like a choice band facade or. Sleep
No,
Talk?
a choice band last resort.
Oh, Last Resort. Yeah, that's Sleep Talk Last Resort. Yeah, that's interesting. But I think Last Resort is. Yeah, it's exactly as strong as Facade, so it's literally just a worst Facade.
Oh, so if you use Facade on Kamala, does that count as?
Yeah, I think it's.
Is it being
I believe so.
Oh wow, yeah, that's really cool. Actually,
oh my gosh, it's a Cloud.
Never even thought about that. Yeah, see, this is really cool. Actually, I do want to that's such a cool idea, right? Because I'd always thought about this because you don't really see Altaria much, but like you see the weather, and there's a lot of weather in this tournament. And I think one of the things that I said, I don't know if I don't think I spoke to an hour about it, so maybe it's just sort of like great minds. But I did think about Pokemon with Cloud9. I thought about obviously Golduck and Altaria, because in any tournament where you have weather that's going to be really, really strong, it's actually like such a good idea to bring, because it can just completely destroy the momentum of anything. Like, it's not a great Pokemon, but Altaria is still pretty decent. Like, it has Heal Bell, right? I think so. Especially on a stall team, it could be so good, and just completely stopping that pressure that any whatever weather condition brings you into. I think it's such a smart choice from 1 hour to bring that. I think it's like a really good idea. They've looked at the tier, they've looked at what could be a threat, and they've thought, well, this fits into what I'm doing right now, and there's no downside to it. Like, I think it's such a good idea. I think it's a really good call. 1 hour.
Yeah, so there's basically one way this game goes well for Oceanic Gamer, and that's going to be hazards. So I don't think Altaria gets Defog. Let's check.
I think
okay, so it does get Defog even in Gen 9, but it might not have it. But the interest... Oh, so I was going to say the way you win this is with Azumarill. So what I think you needed to do there... Well, I think ideally you want to keep Azu's AV, but I guess it doesn't matter that much. Spikes plus Azumarill can win this game. If you look at Wanawa's team, there is nothing that switches into Knock Off and Play Rough. A Knock Off, Play Rough, and a Water Stab. Nothing.
Yeah. Not to glaze one out too much, but like the reason that I'm so pleasantly surprised with the Altaria thing is that I think in the last tour that we did, I was really considering bringing one as well, because I think the last tour was quite weather heavy as well. Or one of the previous tours was really, really weather heavy. And it was something that I considered, but I ultimately didn't decide to bring. And it's just nice to see that I like Artaria. I think Artaria is a cool mon. I like the shiny. I think any yellow shiny is really, really nice. So I think it's probably a bit of bias from me towards the Pokemon. But I just think it's... Oh, that was not
Wow.
good. Switch
So
in.
this is now a bit of a 50-50. Do you want to Roost, or do you want to just take
No,
the Altaria kill?
I think you need to keep the Altaria.
I would say,
I think
well, no,
even-
so the Altaria is either, you absolutely, if you're Wanawa here, you'd be happy to Wisp the Azu and let the Altaria go down. And that is, wow. So I was going to say, I think that was a huge misplay by Oceanic Gamer. I think you never risk the Azu, but they absolutely got bailed by that Will-O-Wisp miss. That is a huge miss. I think that was, if that Will-O-Wisp hit, I believe this is good game. It's over, because I don't see how you possibly break this team with a burned Azu. But now, this is tough.
That's so rough. That's like... Yeah, this game has just been completely flipped.
And as the Azu, you can now knock off this Gastrodon, so you can, kill it when it comes into a spike next time.
That's so tough. That's such a, like... I can imagine Wanawa is raging right now.
Oh, for sure.
I know Wanawa quite well. I think I don't... definitely not too happy about that.
Oh, no. Yeah, and rightfully so. I think, didn't Wanawa get hacked out of the last tour, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, this is why I kind of don't like tournaments. This just happens sometimes. You'll just be like, well, I prepped well, I played well, and then I missed a Will-O-Wisp, and that was it.
I don't like tournaments. Bro said I don't like tournaments, but it's hosting one every month.
I mean, hey, I don't
you don't like playing in them, I guess.
Participating in tournaments. Yeah. I like watching them.
Watching them. Yeah, I think I'm kind of the same. I'm in the same boat there. Like,
okay, we got the Salt in chat.
Yeah. That's why I stopped talking. I knew it. If anyone here knows Wanawa, you knew it was coming.
May cost. I'd say it's looking very likely to cost you the game. This is tough.
Yeah, pretty much did, bro.
So here's a question: do you think the Gastrodon is sticky hold or water absorb? Because if it is sticky hold, I think Basculegion just kind of wins here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but even if it's not sticky hold, like, then they just get knocked and...
Well, but it can still water absorb the or, Storm Drain, which is a big deal. So it's...
Space.
Yeah, but okay. This is interesting. I wonder if Wanawa can go for, like, a Terra Blast here and kill the Azu, because I don't think Earth Power does it, but any Terra Blast, Fairy, Grass, Flying, whatever, will kill an Azu here.
Getting rid of this Azu is crucial. If they get rid of the Azu, then Wanawa comes back in the game.
There we have it. But this should be a knockoff. Okay, I think Oceanic made a little bit of a mistake there, but the Azu will be eliminated.
I mean, they got the defense drop though.
Yeah, it won't matter.
They did get the defense drop.
Aqua Jet's going to come off and do like 8.
I just mean in general though, like. It puts that defense drop, like, might not seem like much, but it still puts Wanawa in a worse situation than it did because, so like.
I mean, not
here
by much.
it didn't
like,
really
you're
matter.
Gonna have to switch out here.
No,
anyway.
yeah, this is special attacker anyway. Yeah.
I don't think the defense drop was a big deal. I guess the Basculin can now kill.
It's true, but just risking the Hurricane there was quite. But I guess when they just read them. But
yeah, well, I mean, you really want hazards against a rain team. So I think no matter what, even if Hurricane would have come off there, which would not have killed from Pelipper, you always just go for the rocks. You absolutely need rocks, and I think that was well played. Chansey is now looking really strong.
Yeah, Oceanics realized that they said that I threw, but I don't think it's over yet.
No, definitely not. Although I will say you're in a bad spot here. This Komala is looking really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's the Rapid Spin. I would say it's hard to say exactly who this trade benefits, but you definitely just keep clicking Rapid Spin if you're Wanawa here.
I mean...
I guess knockoff.
We've only seen Hurricane so far. Yeah, we've only seen Hurricane so far from the... Salamence. So that if it's a fully special set, then Burn's not really going to matter that much. But if
you could potentially heal up Heatran here. Or, okay, we see Gastro.
Oh, that's a good point.
It is Storm
Oh,
Drain.
it is Storm Drain.
This is looking
Wow.
over.
This is looking rough now, yeah. I think this is one of the things that's so good about Pokemon battles as well, is that it doesn't take much to, but like it doesn't take. You don't have to do like a load of different things. Like good positioning can be enough to win you a game on its own, and I think Winawa has just proven, because like just knowing sort of the spot that you're in and acting accordingly is like really important, and a lot of people don't do that, including myself. Like, so many people make unnecessary plays, but when I was like really realizing the sort of position that they're in and playing really, really well. And
yeah, no, and you know what else I'm really
Oceanic's
proud
in a lot of
see
trouble.
is, Winawa, I mean, when I first met Winawa when we had like a tutoring session, like maybe a year or two ago now, and the only problem, because for a long time he's been a very strong player, but he was addicted to like this cheesy, inconsistent hyper offense, and now I see him carefully playing a bulky hazard stack. So as much as bulky hazard stack, isn't the most hype thing ever, for Winawa, it's pretty cool to see. That Aqua Jet just did 40. Oh my god. I think that might be adaptability.
Yeah.
Either that, or it's Kamala's stats are just a lot worse than I thought.
But no, I continuing on your point, yeah, it definitely had a big hyperfixation on cheesy hyper offense, especially things with webs. He definitely seemed to favor webs as the main the main archetype. So it's good to see that he's sort of branched out and proven that he can do the other types, and team built really, really well, I might add as well.
Yeah, no, for sure, a prodigy indeed. But yeah, it's looking really, really good here for Winawa. I really don't see, I mean, hurricaning with the Kingdra, this is just, ultimately, I think Winawa started this game with an incredible matchup, and for a minute there, it looked like Azumarill might be able to claw it back, but it just was not enough.
Yeah.
Winawa knew what they needed to do. They Terra'd, they sacrificed a lot to get that Azu killed, and then it was just over.
They identified what they needed to do to win the game, which was basically to get rid of the Azu, and so they made the sort of not necessarily risky, but the maybe slightly risky plays, because it's one of those things where you've got to identify like your position, and when I was done that really, really well by saying, well, it's either do or die here. If I Terra Grass and it goes wrong, then it goes wrong, but this is the only way back in the game anyway, so it's something that you've got to do.
I will say, I don't think that Terra Grass play was as desperate as it seems. The Azu was already at about 40, if I recall correctly, and Hazards would have chipped it down eventually. So I think the real play here, this was a game about Hazards. Azu with a lot of Hazards up won, but to keep Hazards up, you need to keep Basculete Legion healthy, which was an important thing that Oceanic Gamer didn't do a good job of. You really need to win the Hazard War. I think whoever controls the Hazards in this game is probably going to end up winning. So definitely advantage to Winawa, but I think Oceanic Gamer
stalling out the rain here as well.
Brought Azumarill in more patiently, knocked off some things with Pelipper, set Hazards more with Toedscruel, and kept Legion alive for those late game spin blocks. So I think there were definitely mistakes from Oceanic's part.
I mean, we see when I was positioning and the sort of pivoting with the wish, so the wish support and things like that has been really, really good as well. And one thing from Oceanic Gamer that, like, you touched on it there, but just the fact that they have knockoff, like, use it, bro. Like, they did not use it as anywhere near enough, like, than what they needed to.
Yeah, and Dondozo goes down, but that's not like a real kill. It does. I mean, it's a kill, but it doesn't really matter. At this point, it's a done deal.
And again, that protects stalling out the rain turn, which doesn't really seem like a massive deal, but it's mitigating that chance of any shenanigans happening with anything.
And someone in
So,
chat asking if comatose prevents status. I mean, I know they're delayed, so maybe the confusion is not what they're referring to. But yeah, confusion is not really considered a status. So you can be paralyzed
status
and
move,
confused.
yeah. There's like a lot of pseudo status moves, status things. So like taunt, for example, isn't a status condition, right? Like,
Yeah.
And being tormented and stuff like that. It's weird. They're sort of like pseudo status conditions, and comatose only affects the like main 4 status conditions.
So I gotta say, I think Wana was playing, playing with his food a little bit, and I'm hoping you just... Okay, there we go. So now that that's dead, it seems like, this is pretty much a wrap. But for the sake of continuity, we'll see it end.
Yeah. I mean, this is... if you're Oceanic here, I guess the ego probably plays the part of it a little bit, but just forfeit, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna say let's just move on from this. Good job to Winawa. Let's check out Pink Across but Evil. I want to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a stall game.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, maybe not.
Is it versus Pink Storks?
It's versus Pink Storks, yeah. Let me just skip ahead and see if this game ever goes... Okay, we're still at 6 Pokemon on turn... What is this?
I see someone...
Still 6v6 on turn 93, so we are not going to watch that.
No.
How about Capitao General versus Dobecito?
You hop into that game. I'm just going to address a question that was put in chat in this game, in the Pink Across Evil game. So they said, is sleep banned? And I will just say yes. It's literally Gen 9 OU rules. It says this in the everything. But it's Gen 9 OU rules in terms of gameplay and mechanics and stuff. The only thing that's different is the team building aspect. So everything is, all of the clauses and like sleep clause, and like the amount of species clause and stuff like that. That's all still in effect. It's literally just Gen 9 OU, but with different team building requirements. Just wanted to clear that up.
So Dobecito here using a very interesting Trick Room team. But it's looking like it's kind of... The Ursaluna is sort of getting handled by this Drifblim, which is really interesting, too. Wow, clicking headlong rush on a Drifblim. Really odd plays from Dobecito, I'm seeing.
I guess it's the desperate, trying to make reads and stuff, though, because if you're in that kind of position, then...
Well, Dobecito doesn't seem like the one in the bad spot. I'd say it's Capitao from this game, what I'm looking at, that seems like they're in the bad spot.
Which turn are we?
I'm currently on turn... Whoa, what am I? Let me go down. Turn 14.
Okay.
Okay, I just see the Ogerpon go for Terra Water Ivy Cudgel and one-shot a Glastrier. Folks, that's why Glastrier is terrible. That's why Glastrier is terrible.
You literally described that as it happened on my screen.
This is looking devastating now. Yeah, now it's bad for Dobecito. See, you gotta have a Wellspring answer. You've gotta... There is one water resist on Dobecito's team, and it's a Slowking. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, this is bad. Not sure why the U-turn came out there on the muck. Like, you just click Ivy Cudgel, but you do you, I guess. Okay,
I suppose it's because they don't want to risk they don't know what the muck set is. It could be Sash, it could be whatever,
well, no,
and they don't want to risk that poison touch.
They were against a 25% Ursaluna and didn't click Ivy Cudgel.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Because I thought you were talking about into the muck, because...
Yeah, but the Ursaluna was in.
I mean, they've healed it back up, but the issue with that is you don't have your... Oh, okay, yeah. I thought they might forget about the burn cure.
I think we're talking about different turns, but it's fine. Yeah, it's looking like this will just be a Wellspring endgame, though. I mean, because you just sack Drifblim. Yep, that's correct. Aftermath going to do a huge chunk.
Oh, Aftermath.
You can just go Mamoswine here and go for 2 Earthquakes. This is, we've seen already, based on how much it did to Espeon, it's abandoned Mamo. Muck is never taking that, so good stuff from Capitao.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really want to check out now this Husali versus MH Pex Gripper, because these teams both look like they should not have made it anywhere near this round. And is this now round 4 they're on?
No, surely
Was
not.
it round 3?
Round three.
Yeah, that's
round
insane that these teams are on round 3. These two goofy,
Which one are we?
grassy terrain hyper offense teams that look like they should be nowhere near this level of play.
We are looking for. Do you want to invite me? I can't find it for some reason. Oh no, I got it. I found it.
So I'm currently watching a Screamtail click stored power, and it's looking pretty successful at it. And already the Hawlucha has used up its Unburden, so this is looking very good for Husali. But in comes the Wellspring, and if ever there were a Pokemon that can reverse fortunes...
What do you mean use up the Unburden? The Unburden boost stays until you regain an item, right?
No, if you switch out, it's gone.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. Well, there you go, guys. Dr. Bogner noob.
So, yeah, I mean, and okay, Wellspring proceeds to take out 2 Pokemon, but Hawlucha can come in here and clean up this Ogerpon. I wonder if Terra Water there would have allowed it to sweep the whole team. Makes you wonder. A super greedy Swords Dance, and Reuniclus just going to kill the Hawlucha for free. Really weird play there from Husali. But we see Oricorio come in, and honestly, with Quiver Dance, this is looking really threatening in the end game, especially because, as I said, it does not have... that Hawlucha does not have Unburden anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, that Psychic Noise not going to get a critical hit, so this Oricorio is so that was a terrible roost.
It doesn't kill. Yeah.
That roost was awful. You just risked a critical hit for no reason, and you gained nothing. So don't do that. But, okay.
Yeah, you just got to get rid of this thing now.
Now, I will say, the Thwackey probably will be able... Why did you roost? It was perfect timing. Okay, yeah, and see, so if you didn't roost there, actually, no, I think the Thwackey would have ended up coming in anyway. So it wasn't that bad of a play to roost there, I suppose. But that Energy Ball critical hit was just bad luck. But either way, it seems to still be looking good at this point in the game for Husali. Unless, that Hawlucha does have Encore. Oh, but the Screamtail is faster. So...
Why does the Thwackey look so high def? Am I the one that sees that? It's just weird. The Thwackey sprite, I've probably just not looked at it enough. But it just looks really weirdly, crisp and, sharp. I don't know why.
It does look kind of nice, yeah. So, okay, it's time to see if a Hisui and Avalugg can deal with a Thwackey and a Reuniclus in this endgame. And we see Terra Ghost come out as the low kick happens. And there's the Mountain Gale. Okay, so Avalugg should win this, I'm thinking, unless some BS happens. There's Rock Tomb. Folks, we see an Avalugg Hisui get a sweep and make it to round 4.
Wow.
That is insane.
That is really cool.
That is really cool.
I'm sad to see the Thwackey go, but...
Let's see which games are still going on.
Let's have a look.
Okay, it looks like none of them, so I guess we're ready for the next round.
Oh, yeah. Right, okay, the Pokey's typing now. Round 4's just started,
we can take a look at how they ended. Floatzel Rain faces off against Brain Dead Owl's Rain that we watched earlier. We can just kind of take a quick look at how this went. Okay, it looks
there should be some new games starting.
The Battle of Bolts. Yeah, wow, an insane Encore there. It looks like Brain Dead... Oh, we have a big freeze. We have an absolute game-turning freeze from Brain Dead Owl.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've just caught up now. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just kind of getting the quick notes of this. Wow, yeah.
I mean, Brain Dead Owl doing super well so far, and this Rain team is kind of popping off. I can't lie.
I mean, there was a huge misplay encoring the Raging Bolt into hitting and just basically burning Terra and burning a Politoed. This was kind of an unfortunate one. I think Brain Dead Owl got bailed by a freeze and would have probably lost.
That is true, yeah. I also know that Cravian is one of the community helpers. It's Vanitas, one of the helpers, and he will not be happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, Brain Dead Owl, though, did capitalize. I will say that the Raging Bolt being slower than Politoed is a bit of a surprise. So I understand that confusion. But yeah, I'd say Brain Dead Owl still played well, got lucky, probably changed the outcome of the game. But I'm still excited to see Brain Dead Owl in the coming rounds, for sure.
So just to interrupt you here, I've just seen that there's an OU battle started between Umbreon and Wii U, and obviously Wii U being the stall master.
Yeah. So wow, Umbreon's still here, and right off the bat, we have the Rotom nasty plotting on Gliscor.
Yeah. This is going to be fun.
Okay, a good aggressive switch to Tentacruel.
I think, as much as you hate stall, you've got to admit that Wii U just knows how to play this game so well.
Wii U's definitely a good player. No question about it.
Such a good player. I'm interested to see what this Praxis Sableye is going to do as well, because it's one of those things where you don't want to take it as too much of a threat, but it can be a big threat if you don't take it seriously enough. So, especially in a format like this. So we've got Brain Dead Owl already in their next game, so I'm going to open that one as well and just have a look. Mm-hmm. It looks like it's Stall versus Rain. So which one do we want to look at? Do we want to look at the...
let's take a look at Umbreon versus Wii U. We haven't watched any of these players yet. We haven't watched either of these.
That's
I
true.
think we've seen at least one game from everybody else. Or we've seen Umbreon, a little bit of Umbreon, but not really, taking it slow. But we did see some things. We know this is I think it was either a Sash or an Air Balloon Swords Dance Excadrill with Mold Breaker, which is surprisingly not relevant here. No unaware Pokemon on Wii U's team for the first time in a while. But yeah, this Passimian is never getting past a Gliscor. That I'm sure everybody can agree on.
Interested to see what this Decidueye is here for. On Wii U's side, the Decidueye, because it's not something that I see as sort of. Am I missing something here, or? It's just strange to see it on a stall team, but maybe it's just the team building restrictions.
Well, Decidueye does have Defog, and it can hit Gholdengo with Scrappy Close Combat, so that could be the angle. But yeah, this is... I don't even know if I would necessarily call this a stall. It seems super strange.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
But okay, we see
maybe
Umbreon forcing the Terra pretty early on. I gotta say, a huge factor in this matchup is going to be that Sableye, but I can't help but wonder if this Jirachi tearing was a big oversight, because look at look at Sylveon now. There is now no Fairy Resist on this team, other than this very weakened 33% Tentacruel, and there are two weaknesses, and nothing really wants to take a Hyper Voice now, so that could be really big.
It's true. You also have to think about the fact that there's no Dark types on... ironically on Umbreon's team, which means there's not really going to be any way around this Praxis. So you've got to sort of take that into consideration as well, wouldn't you say?
That for sure. This Sableye is going to be potentially a problem because it's going to hard stop Mousehold, and it's going to be a big issue for a lot, honestly. So this Sableye here is going to just come in and go for the Encore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think staying in there was a bad play from Umbreon. Like, why would you go into Sableye if it wasn't Encore? Like, that's not something you bluff. Okay, in comes the Sylveon.
The double back.
Oh, Combine.
Really well done
I honestly think Combine Sylveon is about to wrap this whole thing up. You just click Hyper Voice here to try to kill the Tentacruel, but you don't get it. Oh, wow. Okay, Tentacruel back. But honestly, if this Sylveon just Terra Poisons here, all it would take is a Terra Poison here, and this game is pretty much wrapped.
I'm wondering if there's I'm not sure whether it matters now, but whether there is any sort of Terra Dark on Umbreon's side either, just just as not necessarily that it needs it, but
good aggressive
just as sort of a
flip turn
curiosity
there. I agree
thing.
with that play from Wii U, knowing that if you're going to stay in with Sylveon, you're going to Terra, so you might as well flip turn out and not try to Toxic. Really smart stuff. And this Excadrill, losing the Hazard War is not what you want to see. I feel like Wii U is just playing this incredibly well. And we also see the Gliscor is Earthquake last move. That's significant here because now it looks like between that newly healthy Tentacruel combined with that Sylveon not being able to, Terra into a Steel or Poison type, because then it would get hit by Gliscor hard. It's looking like this game is now firmly in Wii U's control.
Yeah. Just Wii U proving what a phenomenal player that they are, despite anything that anyone wants to say about the fact that that they like stall and things like that. I mean, they're proving here that they're not just a stall merchant, because this is not a stall team that they've brought, and you've got the Gliscor, but it's definitely not just a pure stall like they usually bring. And in a tournament where stall was said to be one of the best archetypes, you've got to respect that. I think I think Wii U proving that they're not just a sort of one archetype wonder. They are a good player in general. And I think one of Wii U's best traits is being able to. I think it's actually quite relevant to your recent video. If you guys haven't seen it, go and watch it. But the whole probability thing, I think Wii U's really, really exceptional at playing around probability. I think that they understand it and they sort of use it to their advantage. They don't make any silly plays. They don't make any outlandish plays. They make safe plays, and they make reads when they need to. There's not a lot of things that I've seen Wii U do that I would disagree with.
Oh yeah,
just throughout the tournaments in general, just like not just here but throughout everything.
Now Umbreon, on the other hand, totally different story. There's a lot of things Umbreon's doing right now that I disagree with. I would say you really need to understand what your progress makers are. As good as Sylveon looked in theory when the Tentacruel was low, Sylveon is no longer your progress maker. I would say you've got to throw a lot of pressure with Rotom. Rotom is the only Pokemon that can actually get anything done at this stage. It's a banded pult. It's doing nothing. Sylveon is not getting past Jirachi, Gliscor, and Tentacruel. The Maushold cannot touch Sableye. The Passimian is, completely unable to touch, Gliscor or Sableye. Excadrill is coming in at 12% after a spike and can't touch Sableye. Or Hisui and Decidueye. So you have one Pokemon that isn't forever hard-walled, and that is Rotom.
I think as well, just something to watch for Umbreon is that they played with their Excadrill way too loosely, because if they'd have kept their Excadrill healthy here, there was a chance that the Excadrill could maybe have done something. But earlier on, I think I remember they brought their Excadrill in. I don't know whether it's trying to make a read or whatever, but it was on the flip turn, I think, if I remember correctly, on the flip turn from the Tentacruel, and it just got absolutely decimated, and then it just basically became useless. So if you'd have tried a bit harder to keep that Excadrill alive, you might actually have gotten somewhere with this, but it's looking pretty rough now.
Yeah, this was immaculately played by Wii U, and we see that Terra Poison. If that Terra Poison had come out earlier, before Sylveon was knocked and when it had a boost and when it was healthy, I think we could have seen a different outcome, but I feel like this was just not super well handled. I think Umbreon had the tools to win this and just did not use them well and played far too impatiently, and they didn't time anything well. When you play against stall teams and bulkier teams, it's all about timing and patience. That is the main thing. You cannot play really aggressively and impatiently. You will get smoked.
That is another one of Wii just incredible strengths, just the patience that they have. Like, they just have such good, and it's not like arrogant patience where you're just like, oh well, I'm playing stall, so you've got to waste your time. It's like there's a reason behind it, kind of thing.
No, Wii U knows when to play aggressively. I would say Wii U is definitely, probably, maybe the best player in this tournament. Definitely,
I think one of the best players on the server, like hands down.
So let's check up on this Stall versus Rain. Generally, Stall versus Rain is a extraordinarily dominant, terrible matchup in favor of Stall. And it's
I'm just at the
like
start here.
Now, what I think is strange to see is that I guess the Politoed with Perish Song never managed to do anything. I would have thought that would have been really, really good here, but it seems like it got super weak. I don't know how that happened. Let's check in on that.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
20%.
got drill
Damn.
pecked down by a Cramorant. So that's another thing. Patience. You've got to bring in the Politoed when it's going to get a kill. You have to be patient. That's the number one problem I see. People just want to go into whatever's going to make progress or whatever theoretically makes progress right away. But that's not how you play against stall teams.
No. Stall relies on that from you as well. Like, stall... There's so many... Like, stall people think stall's like a really horrible, like, archetype, and I see why, but... in order to truly play stall immaculately, like, it does take skill. Like, it takes a lot of it takes a lot to play stall to the maximum of its ability, sort of thing. Like, you need to be really careful when you're going against stall, because like one mistake going up against stall, and stall you just get walled. Like, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, no, playing against stall is definitely an art. Playing stall, not so much of an art. I think it's at a top level, one of the easier ones to play. But it's definitely still not easy. You do have to think. And
like,
when I say top level, I mean, absolute top level. So, like,
yeah.
Wii U's playing as very much impressed me. I will say,
exactly,
that Hydro Pump from Ludicolo did a lot more than I thought it would.
That's a lot, yeah, especially because this is almost definitely Eviolite, right? So
yeah, so you just keep no. Okay, well, actually, no, I wouldn't say that's necessarily wrong, because this Tornadus. Oh no, it doesn't have. Yeah, I don't know why you will go into Tornadus here. Maybe this is choice.
Does it want to knock? Does it maybe want to knock the Eviolite?
If you have choice specs Terraflying Hurricane, you do it here. Oh my, no. Gliscor switch there was super obvious. Brain Dead Owl needs to stop playing like he's not losing this game.
Like a Brain Dead Owl.
Yeah. Oh, it's AV. That's not good. That's no good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never get
I think that
with that.
The logic behind knocking there to get the Eviolite was fair, but there's no way that the opponent's going to let you do that, right? Like, that's really obvious not.
Yeah. No, you've got to play more. In those cases, you've got to call out the obvious plays on stall. Because think about it. If they went Gliscor and got Hurricane, did they lose the game? No. If they let Chansey get knocked, did they lose the game? Maybe. Stall players are typically going to want to extend. They're not going to risk it all if they can not risk anything and then maybe risk it all later. See, that's just kind of basic psychology, and yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say about that.
No, that's a big... I mean, you've got the Regenerator, which means obviously it's not like the deal, but that's still a lot of damage on that Amoonguss as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much meaningless. Like, the Amoonguss is going to be fine with like a Regenerator too.
But you've now got from Aldrich has now got to, like, decide what he wants to go into. Brain Dish. Okay, now you gotta worry here if you're brain dead, because you got the knock. That's a really good knock. Yeah, massive knock.
So with that, I think Ludicolo can now win this game. I think that was a colossal mistake from Aldrich.
Yeah. Like they showed earlier on as well that they know that they need to keep that Eviolite, right? Because but then again, it's not like they can switch into Gliscor with the Tentacle having obviously being the water type. So you've got to. I mean, I personally there would have just switched back into Amoonguss. If I was Aldrich, just because, there's not much that the Tentacle can do to you.
Let's take a moment, though, to acknowledge there are 0 special attackers physical attackers. So I very much hope this Politoed has Encore. I believe it does. So you need to Encore here, because otherwise this Chansey's actually just going to rock your entire team. No!
Oh!
No! Why did you not Encore? You could have Encored, burned a Soft-Boiled, and kept your Rain Pokemon alive. Now I think you just lose the game. I mean, that was a truly, truly terrible play. And what was that? Did the Politoed...
Yeah.
We saw this Politoed have Encore. It Encored a Raging Bolt earlier. I could have sworn.
Yeah, I think so. But then I think there was multiple Politoads, so maybe not.
No, I'm certain we saw it Encore a Raging Bolt.
Yeah, because it was the Perish Song one, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a total
Whirlpool Perish Song Encore,
you could have burned all the Chansey Soft-Boileds, but instead you just... I mean, now I will
It
say
might
Raging Bolt
time
looks
out
really
now.
good here, but I think
Is
that was
it?
just a super big mistake.
Is this a timeout or?
You've got to click an attack. I think it's timeout. I'm not seeing.
I think Aldrich is the one.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, and it looks like it's going to be a spore or maybe. Okay, it's a toxic from an Amoonguss
Oh
there.
wow.
Yeah, no, letting that rain setter go instead of clicking Encore was just a biggest mistake I think I've seen in this tournament.
Can you? You can't use Spore, right? Spore's sleep move, isn't it?
You're right. Yeah, Spore is a sleeping move.
That's why I love the called Meloetta, because it's one of the only Pokemon that can sleep other Pokemon, even if it's not entirely
Yeah,
consistent.
it needs quite a bit of luck to do so, though.
Yeah, it's always funny when it happens though.
Yeah, so this is looking devastating. Maybe if Raging Bolt's fast, it can get one more kill here, or at least chip the Chansey significantly. I will say the Chansey is at 30%, so that is... How did the Chansey get to 30%? I could have sworn it was healthy.
I just I can see my wife typing in chat again, telling everyone to. She says to join future tournaments, like, subscribe, and join the Discord. Link in the description. That's what she's just said in the chat. Doing my job for me.
That's awesome. Thank you,
yeah.
Mrs. Bognor.
Exactly, Ray.
So, okay, Chansey goes down. I have no idea what that play was. Chansey could have come back. And it should have come back.
Yeah.
I think sacking that was an insanely bad choice. Like, look at Calm Mind Chansey now. You couldn't live a Ludicolo, but you could probably live a Tornadus hit. You could definitely live a Tornadus hit and a Tentacruel hit, and you could have gotten back up, Calm Minded, and won the game. I mean, and now it's looking like even without Rain, these remaining Pokemon might be able to do it. So I can't believe this, honestly. I think they both threw. I think Brain Dead Owl threw by not encoring, and Aldrich.
I'm just scrolling back
And
through
those
chat to see
toxic
what's
spikes go
going
up.
on.
Those will not be removed now. Now the Hydrapple's probably boots, but if those boots get removed, Hydrapple will not be having a good time with that. I think we're going to see the Gulp Missile come off there. Yep.
Oh wow, yeah.
And
the inactivity loss.
Brain Dead Owl
No, it was
losing
inactivity. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, click buttons.
Damn.
I don't know what to say. Let's check in on Wanawa against this
Yeah.
Husali team. This is... This Avalugg Hisui is actually not doing too bad. Let's just see if any games are still going on. I think they're probably all done. Yeah, they're all done. So when we see a new one come up in chat, we'll switch to it. But for now, let's see how this game played out.
Yeah. I just want to say, goddamn, I love my wife. She's just bloody in the chat trying to... That's what I mean. There's someone out there for you guys. You just got to wait. Okay, so I'm just looking through here.
Oricorio setting up against an Altaria.
Setting up, yeah.
And I just don't think that'll go very well because there's a Chansey.
Yeah.
But it does have Roost, and the Chansey might only have Seismic Toss, so this actually could be huge. Chansey's Calm Minding, but as I said, I'm pretty sure the Chansey only has... Okay, well that's not so good. Maybe if you Quiver Dance to full and fish for critical hits, you can maybe PP stall the recovers.
Yeah, this is... I'm not really sure where this is going. I mean, you've got the burn, so you are getting consistent damage, but...
So here's the problem. I'm pretty sure Oricorio at absolute max special attack with air / critical hit is doing like 60, maybe.
But the Chansey's been effed up too, right? So
yeah, well, the critical hit goes through Chansey's boosts.
Oh, true.
Oh no, it's actually doing less. I'm thinking this will.
Oh,
It has,
wow.
wow, it had Shadow Ball. Okay, so that was never a question anyway. Do you think
He had
Chansey
Shadow Ball the
stays in
whole
here?
time.
Okay, no, Chansey just
That's
immediately goes
mean.
out.
That's really mean.
I mean, it honestly would have happened anyway, and as I think critical hit air slash at max was going to legitimately be doing like 40. It would have, I mean, not 40, it would have done about half. So you would have needed 2 critical hits in a row. It wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chansey was always winning that exchange. I honestly think Husali's, it's a miracle that Husali got. How did I
That's gonna be a
disconnect
CC.
again? That's insane.
Yeah, CC. No, you're all good. I can hear you.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I disconnected from PS, which is wild. But okay, Wanawa ends up winning. It actually looks close, which is crazy. So honestly, Husali, you did amazing. I'm shocked you got this far with the team you did.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay, it looks like we have our
Good old
next round
Havalogru.
beginning.
So this is semi-finals now, right?
So we currently have one team left that's not Stall.
Yeah. But then again, I don't really think you can count, like, it's Stall, but it's not like even Chariot, so Wii U, like, their team isn't like mega Stall. It's sort of, yeah, I think at least it's going to be a more interesting to watch Stall in the fact that there'll be, more unique Pokemon, rather than it just being, Dondozo, Gliscor, etc., just versus like everything. There's more opportunities for.
So are we watching Wii U or do you want to watch Wanawa?
Upsets, I think. It's a tough call,
Let's watch Wanawa because I think this game will go a lot faster because it's non-stall versus stall instead of stall v stall.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pulling for Capitao because I really don't want to see a stall v stall finals. I was hoping to do some things today.
No, well, it's a best of one final anyways.
Still, that could be an hour. It'd be funny. I don't want to be that guy that calls the finals. Be like, okay, so and so wins, but that might be what ends up happening here.
It would be funny. It'd be quite controversial though.
Yeah, I would do it anyway.
Yeah, no, I know that. I understand that. We have lives to go to.
Yeah. I mean, well, actually, I guess tell you what, it's your tournament. I'd leave the call up to you. Or
No,
not
no,
the
I
call
wouldn't
of
want
like we'd discuss who was winning, but I mean the call of like whether to let it play out or not. I think I certainly owe you that much.
No. No, you've. I mean, just it's been a pleasure just to be able to sit here and sort of commentate on. Really fun. I see why people like to do it. And it's great. It's nice to see that when I was deciding what to click, it's nice to see that I think one of the reasons that I feel so welcome sort of in the community and stuff like that it's sort of like my ideas and stuff and what I do is actually appreciated, like the effort that I put in, which is like a big deal. So just thanks to everyone that sort of appreciates what I do. But it's one of those things where, again, with this idea, I wasn't sure how it would play out, but I'm glad to see that it's actually played out quite well. Like, we've got a nice variety of, different teams, different Pokemon. It's fun to see, and then we'll be getting Jimothy and maybe some other creators in, and it should be fun. It should be a good summer for the Pink Accord. So everyone should be excited about the summer. I can't lie. The summer's looking pretty good.
I agree. I'm hyped. So we've got
like there's some stuff in the there's some stuff in the background you guys don't know, but we won't say anything. But you should definitely stay tuned. Don't go anywhere over the summer. Obviously, go on holiday and things like that, or vacation or whatever. But there are we're going to be having a lot of fun over the next coming months.
Absolutely.
So
Wow. Okay. So we see
wow.
Wanawa's Gastrodon. Wow. And then the spike goes up as the Wellspring comes in. So this is
the Wellspring can just set up here, right?
Few turns. Sorry, what was that?
The Wellspring can just set up for free here, right?
It can, but I don't think it wants to because you're never getting past that Dondozo. Now, I also want to say I'm pretty sure this Wellspring It's SD Ivy Cudgel U-turn. Have we seen the last move?
We don't know whether it's Power Whip or Play Rough yet.
Could be knockoff as well.
Or Knock, yeah. I've noticed that people that Knock has been used a lot less just because it has that 4 move slot syndrome.
I feel like Knock is still really popular on Wellspring. I think Play Rough has
Really?
fallen out of fashion because people realize you can just knock off and then kill something with hazards.
Oh, true.
Like Altaria, for example. Like if you have knockoff. But okay, yeah, this Komala is going to be pretty much a thorn in this, Slow King side.
Why is this Slow King called Pinker's Addiction? I know it's pink, but it's a pretty big difference between an Aloe and a Slow King. Come on.
So here's the SD. It's the moment of truth. Does this Ogerpon have anything for Dondozo? We're about to find out. It's funny to me how many of our fun metagame ideas devolve to Sun and Stall. It seems like this happens like half the time.
Yeah. Guys, you're not helping. We're trying to come up... This is why we can't have nice things, guys.
Okay, wow. We see the Terra Water Ivy Cudgel going to do... That's insane.
Absolutely
I thought that would do
nothing,
much more to
yeah.
Altaria. But I think you'd better hope you have Power Whip if you're...
It's obvious. It's got to be...
Horn Leech, wow.
Or Horn
okay,
Leech,
but this is
right,
going to be
yeah.
a big Rocky Helmet damage and then a Body Press coming out. But I will say the next time this Ogerpon comes in, it'll be in a really good spot, especially with Future Sight support.
Oh, damn, that did a lot.
I think I'm still favoring Capitao's position here. If you can bring in that Wellspring on a Future Sight, I think the world is yours.
Yeah.
You know what else I love? It seems like Capitao knows exactly what they need to do. Immediately we see the Future Sight attempt. Yeah, because the Ogerpon, I don't believe, dies here to a Rapid Spin from Komala. So you can go into this and just Swords Dance.
Oh, it's a...
I believe... Let me check that.
Go into the Mamo.
Versus...
They've got it.
So never mind. Kamala's knockoff. Oh, I forget. Yeah, okay, so Komala actually has a pretty good attack stat.
Yeah. But they haven't got into the pond. Oh, no, there we go. No,
Wow. Okay,
wow.
I don't know why that was the play.
Why Winawa did that.
Winawa forgot. It happens to us all at times, I suppose.
It does. Yeah. I think it needs to... You know how it has, like, the little thing in the top left where it says, like, snow and stuff? Like, it needs to have that Future Sight thing there, I think.
Let's see if the Dondozo gets a Sleep Talk. It gets Rest.
Oh, it gets Rest.
But realistically, the next few moves were probably what? Like... Oh,
wow.
Oh my.
Winawa,
okay, realistically,
bro.
I don't think Winawa got that unlucky. Avalanche would not have killed there, and Liquidation obviously would have healed. So there was only a 1/3 chance that you ended up pulling the Body Press there. So I can't feel too bad.
Winawa always gets to semis and just chokes. I can't ignore this anymore. Winawa always gets to semis, right? And it just completely folds.
I mean, it's not over yet.
No, but
it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't see how a good player with Future Sight Slow King plus Ogerpon doesn't win here. You'd have to really throw.
It's still possible though.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe remember the Heatran is Terra Grass, so that's potentially something. Yeah. But yeah, because the thing is, it has U-turn though, so you just Ivy Cudgel and then you U-turn.
Yeah.
Who would have thought Waterpon would be the hero of the day? Oh, and there's the critical hit, so Altaria can't live the next one. And
Winawa is, as ever, just completely losing it in chat.
I gotta say though, this one was a throw. The Future Sight was that was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
There's the
forfeit. The forfeit as well. Wow.
Well, all right. We have our I will not have to endure stall versus stall in Grands, which I'm happy about.
That's That's awesome.
And I'm
I
seeing
think
GG's come out in this game, so I wonder. I'm guessing GG's means that Wii U won because I think he's the only one that actually has a Pokemon that can make progress, being Thundurus. But I guess maybe the Hydrapple swept. Let's, for the sake of seeing finals when they happen, let's speed this up and kind of see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got Terra Blast Ice Thundurus as the kind of progress maker coming out, which is really cool there. And that set
Wii U
works best
forfeited.
with Hazard. So we see spikes come out from Gliscor. That makes sense. But there's the SD score from Aldrich.
Oh wow.
Really interesting stuff, this game.
Damn.
Maximum spikes go up, but what is the answer? What does Wii U have for this Gliscor that's just dancing?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, well that's how the
Terra
game
Dark.
ended. Okay, so
that Terra Dark.
Wii U falls to SD Gliscor. I think that's... Honestly, the entire team looks like it kind of loses to that. So, good stuff to Wii U for making it this far. This is interesting. I think we're seeing a tournament finals now with two players that have never been in finals before.
Exactly. This is like really exciting. Absolute cinema.
In between games, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. Entertain the people.
Yeah, no problem. Definitely. I mean, it's difficult because I'd like to be able to say, "Oh, do you want to ask me this? Do you want to ask me that?" But the delay is difficult. So, I mean, this tournament's been really, really cool. Like, I'm really excited just for the summer though. This summer, just trust me. And then probably like after that as well, because I mean, I say just the summer, but the summer is more of a transition period, not necessarily a transition, like a really exciting time. And then I would imagine that after that it's going to get even better because the community will get bigger and things will start to grow. So it's going to be a really fun time. But so far the teams have been pretty good. Like this is sort of what I wanted. All I wanted realistically was to just see some really cool teams rather than everyone just trying to sort of, because like in the other tournaments you'd see people with like silly goofy teams, but then by the end it would be like teams you'd expect. But it's just been really cool just watching all the different, like all the creativity and all the different sort of ways people have almost sort of how they've interpreted it.
Here we go. It's time.
So, oh yeah, but no, I'm looking at it now. I'm gonna just be completely like honest with you here. I really want Capitao General to win because that Drifblim is calling my name. It's not yellow, which is unfortunate. It's not the shiny one, but it is Drifblim, and everyone here knows.
Yeah, I'm definitely biased in favor of Capitao as well, but I wouldn't exactly be disappointed with a Cramorant stall winning the tournament. You kind of have to respect that a little bit too. Yeah,
the Cramorant winning a Pinkatul would be really cool.
Yeah, but either way, this is pretty cool. I gotta say, the Capitao, I believe, has made it to finals, but not won before.
Really?
I believe so, yeah.
Cool. I think Capitao is... Capitao's one of the helpers.
So we're about to see a future sight blow up this Amoonguss.
Oh!
But I've got to say, I don't think this thing can hit the... Okay, there's the U-turn.
Oh,
but that's not going to do that much to Hydrapple. I feel like Hydrapple can kind of farm this Ogerpon a little bit. Mamoswine, though, is a different story.
That's 2 games in a row.
Guys, come on. You're making me look bad here. You can't be forgetting about future sight like this. Oh, wow. Okay, huge Terra Ice.
Oh, wow.
That Icicle Crash did nothing, but keep in mind that is partly because of chilly reception snow. So it will do more the next turn,
flinch.
and that's a big flinch. No Ice Resist at all. No Ice Resist to speak of on Aldrich's team, and it's staring down a Choice-banded Mamoswine. That is, that's not good.
That's rough.
Now, I will say, you know what Cappy Tao's team lacks, and I gotta say, there's no Dark Resist.
No.
Neither of these teams have a Dark Resist, and this is finals, guys.
I suppose that it's not like it's kind of more understandable because of the way that the teams can be built. So it's not like how in OU you have to be really careful about all the dark types. You don't know what you're coming up against in a tournament like this. You don't know what the meta is. You don't know. So I suppose like you might prioritize other things over a dark resist maybe. But
I suppose
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I'm still a little shocked by it, but anyway, though, point being here that Cappy Tao does not have a Dark Resist, and that's an SD Terra Dark Gliscor. So I think either way, this game is going to go one of two ways. Either a Mamoswine is going to kill everything with Icicle Crash, or a Gliscor with Terra Dark is going to sweep.
It's gonna be pretty dependent on this accuracy of Icicle Crash, I think.
Yeah, so I think you absolutely just go for the Icicle Crash here. If the Hydrapple wants to Terra, that's totally fine, and it's not going to kill.
Yeah.
So you just stay in here if you're Cappy Tao.
You just
Switching out
Cappy Tao's in a great position that, whereas it's like Hax is kind of on your side here. Like you have the flinch chance, but you also you need to basically you need to pray to the Hax gods that you don't miss. And that you get those flinches, because that you could literally win the whole game just with that. So, I'm not really sure which way this is going to go, how I'm going to call this, but I mean, Cappy Tao's just fantastic. So he just needs to play it.
Okay, so there's a switch, but that's not going to. I mean, that's not really going to matter here, unless the Amoonguss decides it wants to Terra, which I think would be a pretty poor decision.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily, actually. Aldrich saying, then I forgot that my Hydrapple
what?
wasn't regen. How TF did
what?
I make it to finals? Okay, so that Amoonguss getting restored there is actually, that's a pretty big miss, that Icicle Crash. That's pretty big. And Hydrapple, it's Sticky Hold. Okay.
Oh, Sticky Hold. Sticky Hold coming in clutch.
So yeah, that actually kind of worked out.
That actually worked out really well.
But I definitely, Hydrapple's going to want to recover here, so I'd say you got to go into this Mamoswine and just start swinging.
Cloaking. I guess the chili reception for the
here, but I really don't know about that. Now I will say,
I think it's for the chili for the defense boost, right? For Mamo.
I think they're going for this. A grass move here will absolutely do it. So you've kind of got to get out of here. I think you should go into the Archaludon. Or a Duraludon, excuse me.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, just going to stay in. I guess maybe the Hydrapple didn't... Well, it is a max Spadef Slowking and a 0 a special attack Hydrapple, so probably it never killed.
That was an interesting turn of events right there. There was so many, like... It was very risky for players.
I don't know. I don't think the grass move killed, so I don't see it as super risky. But I think you just go for the ice move here. You don't really need to make big plays.
Yeah.
And there we have it. I mean, Amoonguss, it'll slowly, surely die. It's not going to be quick, but it'll die.
I'm looking at these teams. I'm just trying to call it. If it gets that flinch.
Yeah. So that was
no.
Do not let the Mamo get poisoned. Now. I will say
really wanted that flinch there.
But you need to be patient. How many times, I don't know how many times I need to tell you guys this, but the key against stall is just patience, patience, patience. Does Mamoswine need to break this very turn, or is it okay if it breaks a little bit later? It's okay if it breaks a little bit later.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, Chansey dies, but that doesn't really do much for you.
Yeah. I mean, but what are you doing here as Gliscor, right? Because...
Yeah, so see, now the Amoonguss is going to come back in. So as Mamoswine here, you get... Wow, why did you stay in if you were just going to switch out next turn? This is really not good. Yeah. And now the Hydrapple can come in on this Rotom every time, now that you know it's Trick. I mean, it's just not doing enough. I don't know why you wouldn't just stay in an Icicle Crash there. These are some really questionable plays, I think.
I suppose you don't want to take the toxic damage, right?
Yeah, but if you didn't want to do that, like, don't stay in on the Gliscor Protect.
Yeah.
I will say, though, this is still a huge advantage for Cappy Tao in this end game. It's looking like, because you just go into the Ogerpon here,
Yeah.
Yeah, you just SD. Okay, I mean, I guess you can. I would have SD'd there. Gliscor is not really ever staying in.
This is
Okay, there's the SD. Kind of a greedy one. Gonna take a body press and get a critical hit.
Oh,
Unfortunate, but I mean,
crit.
that's what happens. U-turn here, but this is a really obvious synthesis. I would have honestly swords danced again, but yeah, because there's the recover. Excuse me.
It's not. It's not. I mean, the sticky hold. Do you know what? I will say this, right? If Aldrich ends up winning, that sticky hold will actually have been pretty clutch.
I don't agree. I feel like yes, it helped, but regen would have been better in this matchup. A lot better.
I suppose, but you don't really want your Hydrapple getting choice locked, right? So it's a defensive one.
Weird Dragon Tail. I don't really understand. Like, you're just giving Pokemon regenerator healing.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, there's a body press.
Oh
I
wow,
guess.
that did
That's not too
nothing.
bad. So there's that. I mean, the Gliscor is going to come in here. I think at this point you switch now into Ogerpon this turn. Okay, Bognor the Drifloon coming in. That's
Oh
pretty
my
cool.
god, I love that.
Is it Hex? Let's see. Hex Drifblim, like the set I used during stream, would be really good here.
Yeah.
It is Hex.
Oh wow.
But that critical hit did not do much.
No, is it not invested? Maybe.
I mean, it's not, but I think that's just Drifblim. Like, you never really want to special attack invest Drifblim. You need the bulk.
True.
Yeah, wow. I mean, at least it chipped Gliscor, but that's not a whole lot.
It's got the knock. Yeah.
You could strength sap here. No, just gonna Hex. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, the aftermath will do quite a lot. Oh.
Okay. I can get behind the Rotom here. I think that's fair because you can overheat once here. The Gliscor will protect. It'll switch out, but then next turn, as the like Hydrapple or whatever comes in, you can go Drifblim, strength sap.
Could you not potentially trick it here?
Why would you do that? It gets another protect. Capitao, do you not know how Gliscor's protect works? Come on, buddy. What are you doing? I mean, this is totally useless. It's just going to go into Amoonguss. So we now have Capitao, our finalist, losing health on a crucial breaker, seemingly just for fun.
Yeah.
I really have no clue what you're doing.
A nice switch back in, but they're just gonna switch around anyway. So
I will say you can go Mamo here, and you get a 50-50. If you Icicle Crash, you can EQ or Crash and get a kill, basically.
I would crash here.
I think I'd EQ here. Well, no, but the Cramorant's kind of an easy sack. I still think I'd EQ here, honestly. Maybe Knockoff. Okay, they went for the EQ. Turned out to be wrong, but the Hydrapple is now chipped, so that is big. If they can take advantage of it.
So, is this... Do we know what this is yet? Do we know what the fourth move is on this? Oh, it's Horn Leech, right?
Yes, yeah, it's Horn Leech. Okay, and going to sack the Hydrapple, I think that was a super big misplay. There was no reason not to go Amoonguss there. Amoonguss lived every hit. It lived +2 Ivy Cudgel, and you could just foul play. So sacking Hydrapple there was completely pointless and didn't need to happen. I'm really disappointed in these finalists. We're just seeing some plays that aren't even questionable or unnecessarily risky. We're seeing some plays that are just wrong. Plain wrong.
I think that a part of it probably is down to pressure because these guys it's a final. They haven't been in like the, it doesn't seem like a big deal to some people, but I can imagine that there is an element of pressure here.
That's fair. And that was, I will say, that Future Sight I think was unnecessary.
Future Sight was really
risky for no reason. But yeah, Knockoff won't kill there. Facade. Why the Chili though? Why not just click Scald? I don't know what we're doing here, but I guess Ivy Cudgel does look pretty good here. But you could have killed Gliscor there. I think that was a mistake from Capitao. But okay, Gliscor finally
Oh,
goes
the Gliscor
down.
goes down anyway.
I will say I think that was a mistake. I believe Amoonguss could have lived 2 Ivy Cudgels in the future
Yeah.
site. So
It might be GG. I say it might be, pretty much. Right?
yeah, I don't really see how Aldrich can come back from this. I gotta say,
No.
so I am happy. Well, we'll wait to see what happens before I make any declarations. But I am happy to see Stahl not win the tournament.
Yeah.
It's been a while since Sun or Stahl hasn't taken the cake.
See, look, W takeover, guys. See that? If,
You can also finally trick with Rotom, which is huge here.
yeah. I mean, you have to go Cramorant, right? If you're Aldrich, because like, you don't want your Amoonguss getting tricked. Like, if that happens, like,
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I think trick there was the proper play, but there are so many ways
Yeah.
to win here for Capitao. I'm not gonna hate, but it was, yeah. I guess the plan Capitao seems to be going with is just Chili Volt Switch, Chili Volt Switch, Chili Volt Switch till the end of time. So yeah, you just go Rotom here and Volt Switch. I mean, there's a quicker way to win this game, but this works too.
I mean, respect to Aldrich for keeping going, but surely this is not winnable, right? I mean, what would have to happen for Aldrich to be able to win here? There'd have to be a cataclysmic misplay from Capital General. Like,
There would have to be, I think, several cataclysmic misplays. And the drill
Yeah.
peck here is not going to do it. And down goes the bird. Now, this Amoonguss does have synthesis, but
what damage is it doing
it's
realistically,
doing
right?
nothing. Yeah, this is over. I mean, you just go Rotom Heat and trick the
You
thing.
literally have the Archaladon, the Duraludon, sorry, and it does nothing. Like, it's you would say maybe it can Toxic Store, but even that, like, can't.
No, as long as you trick, there's no way you could possibly win this game. If you throw and don't go for the trick and keep missing overheats as you get toxic,
Yeah, there we go.
maybe
Here,
there's a
yeah,
way.
this should be GG here. Like, yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
There we go. Yeah, that's
That's it. Yeah.
okay. Well,
Well then. Wow.
I will say this was not super well played, I think, by either party. I think Aldrich made more mistakes. But yeah, this was not... Now, it wasn't terrible. For the most part,
No.
good plays. But, you know, Pokemon games are swayed by the non-optimal plays.
Yeah.
But I'll say I'm impressed with the team building. I think the Cramorant stall was very cool. I liked seeing it.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams were really like inventive.
Yeah, no, the teams were really, really cool. Definitely some of the most creative teams I've seen yet.
That's exactly what I
And-
wanted from the Rainbow building. So
Mhm.
we
And
got
hey,
what
a
we wanted.
Driftblim team. Oh, excuse me, a Driftblim team won. You've got to be happy about that.
And I'm absolutely, I'm so happy about that.
Well,
It was difficult to. I was trying to find a word there that wasn't really British because I was going to say like I'm really chuffed, and then but not everyone will understand that. So that's why I was like stuttering because I was trying to find a word that wasn't going to confuse people.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm glad you're. What was the word?
Chuffed.
I'm glad you're chuffed about this.
Yeah, there you go. See, there you go. Learning. It basically just
yeah.
means like
I'll speak
happy.
British in no time, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess let's call it there. Congrats to Capitao, and you know, I'll say as far as my what do we call it? Disappointment in finals. I hold finalists to a high standard, so I'm criticizing you guys as if you were top level players. So try not to.
It's out of love.
It's out of love. Sure, yeah. Don't be too offended. You played really well to get here, and even the people that I criticize for, you know, making mistakes are in like the top 0.1% of Pokemon players. So
Look, guys, don't
Congratulations,
don't
well
ever give up. I'm commentating on a Pinkator, and did you see what I did last Pinkator? All right, anything's possible, right?
Mhm.
Just anything's possible, right? Like, don't get disheartened, because if you did that, I wouldn't be here. Because what I did last Pinkator was disgusting. I just click buttons, bro.
All right. Well, I guess Bognor, is there anything else you want to add, or shall we wrap it
Yeah,
up here?
I would just like to add a big thanks, as always, to all the community helpers and just the Discord in general. While I've been away sorting this house move, it's still not completely sorted, but hopefully it'll be sorted soon. But we are in the house now. Things are starting to cool down. So I just want to thank everyone for stepping in. You've all been really, really amazing for sort of taking over from what I usually do. And I just want to thank Pokey for managing the tour and for the rest of the helpers for helping them sort of figure out what they're doing and stuff, because it's been difficult. I can imagine with me not being here, but you guys have done really, really well. So I'm really proud. And yeah, this has been really, really good, and I'm just really happy with you guys. Thanks everyone for watching and participating.
All right. And would you like to give us, before we wrap up, the 3, 2, 1 countdown?
The 3, 2, 1 countdown for
Yes.
the end of the
Yes.
for the end of the stream, right? Okay, this is a big moment, guys. Most people live their lives without doing it, but I get to do it. I'm very lucky. So we'll say goodbye in 3, 2, 1.